Okay. Welcome. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Hypno Chat with Stephanie Conkle, and today's guest I have on the show is Aino, and it's pronounced Aino. Aino Welch and Keithanthony Taylor. So, welcome to the show, you guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
So, we're just kind of like relieved because it took us about an hour to get going and get a good connection and all of that lovely stuff. So, but we're in the groove now. Also, this is just a chat. It's not really a formal interview. You know, it's just a chat between friends and colleagues, and just to get to know each other a little bit better. And I like to kind of keep it light and friendly and everything. But before we get into the chat part, there's one little formal part of the interview, and that's just to get to know. I'd like to get to know Aino a little bit better, and I'd like for my viewers to know who she is. They already know Keithanthony. They're good with it. So we're gonna.
I'm the ugly one.
But I was reading this article that somebody sent me on you. And you have such a fascinating life. You have a fascinating history. I could spend the entire hour just talking about your history. But some things that I've sort of highlighted is raising orphan polar bear cubs. By the time you were age 6, you were running dog sled teams, and you helped a man who tried to commit suicide. You became an Army cadet aspirant. I don't know if I said that right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point you became a citizen of the United States, which sounds like a fascinating story. You've worked with special needs children. Obviously, you're a certified hypnotist, and we'll go back into that. We'll go into that in a minute. You're into ice carvings, and you were recently elected to the North Pole City Council. So
It's a mouthful. Yes, it is.
so I think all of that is just amazing. You sound like you're a character from a book. Like it sounds like you have a larger than life kind of story. So
Well, it's a lot of fun to go back over it, and actually, that book is in the process of being written. So,
oh, okay,
yes.
great. I would love to read it. That's what I'm saying. There's so many things. Any one of these things I could just pick out, and we could just talk on. um, but I will let you talk a little bit about yourself and what you would like for the viewers to know.
Well, I think one of the things that, in some ways, unfortunately, I'm know a little bit about a whole bunch of different things, but I'm really a master of none of them. At least that's what people would like to say. That. Uh, but again, I think that if you can do a little bit of everything, then you're a much more well-rounded
Yeah, you
person,
have a
and you have a better
well-rounded
chance of
life.
you have a better chance of being able to use something from your past. In my case, as a hypnotist, to be able to draw on those experiences and be able to use that to help somebody better their life or better their situation in life. So that's kind of where I like to come from when I work with people, is that I take whatever they give me and I use it to increase whether it's the level of trance or whether it's the rapport with people or whatever it is, so that at the end of it, in my mind, I have helped them come to the goal that they are looking for,
Absolutely.
one way or another. So,
And
yeah.
when did you become a hypnotist, and what kind of got you started on that
Well,
path?
it goes all the way back to, well, before I was even realizing that there was such a thing as a hypnotist, as far as the therapeutic side of it. The only thing I ever knew was from stage, and this was all something that I approached in Denmark, and it was just interesting. I always missed out going to a show, so I started checking out books online, or books at the library. No line back then, but in the library, I go to the library, pick up a book, and I read about this stuff, and it was just some of the things that really kind of clicked with me. And my dad also had a set of cassette tapes. I still have them today. And it was for him because he was a pistol instructor and also wanted to compete. But he could teach anybody. He had a steady hand. He could show them. He could do everything and teach them what to do. But come to competition time, he would be like this.
Oh.
So he couldn't tie it in. He could do it. He could shoot perfectly in practice, but as soon as competition came,
He had that
so he got
nervous
this
energy.
nice little self-hypnosis type tape series. And I grabbed those and was very interested in it. And the first time I ever remember, I managed to learn how to numb my hand up.
So
And I smacked my hand against the wall just to test that I could feel it.
Yeah.
Well, what I didn't realize was I hit the nail that was sitting in the wall.
Oh no!
And so when I came back around, I was all bloodied up, but I never felt the thing. So I kind of got the idea about that it actually worked.
Yeah, the power of hypnosis. What a great demonstration. I mean,
Yeah.
horrible, but horrible demonstration,
No, I mean,
but an
the
awesome
thing is,
demonstration.
It didn't hurt.
Right.
It didn't hurt. So,
I mean, horrible
so-
that it happened to your hand, but awesome and amazing that it,
Yeah.
you know,
it was
that it worked.
It was really,
Faint.
yes. So from that point, I was just more interested in all kind of things. So I read everything I could get my hands on in Danish, and it was reasonably limited. But as a 13-year-old or so, we went to a big scout camp in Norway, and up in the loft of this big lodge, there was a whole bunch of very interested Girl Scouts and one brother of one of them that was up there, and I was able to play the glue and the finger game for them, and figured out a whole bunch of them that worked really well, and took it further than that. And I had the proverbial cats and dogs barking and so on and so on. And I must have set some kind of a trigger with them, not knowing anything about what triggers were back then, you know. I managed to do that and set everything up, and next night at the big campfire, I triggered off a few of them, and I think out of 8 or 9 that I had worked the night before, 3 or 4 of them jumped up and did whatever it was. To my big surprise.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was
fun.
That was kind of my very beginning of it. But looking into trying to find out how to help a friend of mine who was in Australia, once we got sound on the internet, I told her I would go find a script for her, and that was a problem. So, but yeah, it was just it was easy enough to do, and I found HMI online and signed up for classes, and that was kind of the beginning of it.
Cool. And then you obviously have a knack for it too.
It's fun. It's fun when you look at it from that, and then you just need to figure out the therapy side.
Yeah.
The hypnosis is easy. Anybody can hypnotize.
Right.
I always tell people that.
Right.
Actually, I used to tease people when I first got my certificate on it and had it printed out, and it was hanging on my wall. And I said, "Now I'm a certified hypnotist. I can put you into trance, but then I don't know what the heck to do with it."
Right. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people get their certification, and then they're like, "Okay, I can hypnotize you, but now what?" If you don't want to just do like the stage tricks, right? Yeah. So how do you do that? So then you have to go on to get the advanced certifications and the therapeutic side of it, which is also what I had to do myself.
Yeah.
So cool. So we have Keithanthony Taylor on. Hey, Keithanthony, how are you?
I'm great. I'm fine. It's early in the morning here. What is it? Sunday now, 2:15 a.m. in London, UK.
Thank you for staying up and joining us. I know it's late
no
for
problem
you.
At all. I'm as happy to be up at 2:15 a.m. as any other time. It's
and Aino is in Alaska.
Yes.
And what time is it over there?
It's 5:16 here. So.
5:16. And I'm in Atlanta. It's 9:16 p.m. Saturday night. It's Sunday over in the UK. In what city are you in, Keithanthony?
I'm in Croydon, which is 15 minutes from the centre of London, on the south border of London.
Okay, cool. And Keithanthony Taylor is on today because he actually hypnotized Aino how long ago? In 2011?
2011, I think, when I first met Aino, way back.
Did you 2011? Is that when you guys first met Aino?
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah,
okay.
I have some kind of emergency going on downstairs, so if you either want to hold this or I should be back.
Yeah, go ahead. Take care of your emergency. I can always edit this out. Go ahead.
Yeah, 2011. But
okay.
11. Yes, it was about then. Yeah, beginning of the year. I met a lot of interesting people around about then.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I guess we can go ahead and just talk without her. Hopefully she'll be back soon, and we'll add her back in once she gets here. But the reason why
then that I met people like Jeff Stevens, who's sadly no longer with us. Tremendous hypnotist he was, and also met Joe, who's another hypnotist who's no longer with us. Another great, and I'm trying to remember his surname.
Oh no.
I remember once when I was with Joe, we were on the underground system in London, and we were hypnotizing people on the train. And
how fun!
It was great fun. we were doing a hot coin trick. Do you know the hot coin trick?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple. You just get people to look in their pockets for some coins, and you say to them, "Would you like to feel hot or cold?" And you get the coin in their palm, and you tell them, for instance, it's a hot coin, and they feel very quickly that the coin heats up. Of course, it doesn't really heat up, but they have the coin in their palm.
Sure. So you're doing waking hypnosis with them.
How quickly the coin heats up, and they have to drop it.
That's so cool.
It's all perception.
Actually, I've never tried the hot coin, cold coin. I think I've read about it. I've never tried it on anyone, but I'm going to do that this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I've never read it in a book or anywhere, but Joe was the first person who did it.
Okay.
I saw him do it once, and then I just did it myself. If you tell somebody it's hot, and they're a receptive person, it gets hot. It's all expectation.
Right.
And you have to build it up, and you tell them how dangerous it is, and you tell them absolutely, I don't want you to hold on to it any longer than you have to, because I don't want you being brave. I want you to drop it as soon as you start feeling that heat, because I don't want you to be burned. This is dangerous. You build up that expectation.
Okay.
And they drop it straight away because they don't want to be burned. And because you built that expectation in their minds, they do drop it. They hold, and you hold your hand underneath so you're ready to catch it.
That's so cool.
They do drop it because it does get hot very quickly.
That's awesome.
Because you build up the expectation, and you do it all very quickly. And you can do things like saying to them, "Now, don't let me touch the coin. I don't want you to say that I've done anything to it."
Right.
It's all the rapport that you build up, the showmanship, and it's very easy to do, and it's surprising how easy it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with everybody, of course, so you have to be prepared for a letdown.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. Yes, you can say to them, "That's great, you passed that test."
There you go. Right, always have the backup in your pocket, right?
Yes.
What are you going to fall back on? What's your contingency plan if it doesn't work, right?
Yes, and you can move to something else like magnetic fingers or
yeah.
Yes.
But you're here. There's Aino. That was like perfect timing. And so I know Keithanthony wanted to test out something. He has not hypnotized you since 2011, I believe, which was 7 years ago, and he set up some triggers for you to go back into deep hypnosis.
Yes, he did. He certainly.
So, yeah, and there it is.
And speaking of triggers, that was one of them that I set in 2011.
Okay.
Which is that 7 years ago?
7 years ago. Explain what you just did to the audience. What did you just...
Well, in 2011, when I first met Aino, 7 years ago, I set a trigger. I suggested to Aino that if she ever saw this blue, does it look blue? Does it even look?
It looks blue on my end.
Screen?
It looks blue.
It looks black on my screen, but it's a blue.
Yeah, it's blue on my screen.
And this is the same pen that I used in 2011, and it still works. It's still got ink in it. Okay. I'll never get that off my finger again because it's permanent.
Okay, it's a permanent mark.
It's a stupid thing to do, isn't it?
So that was the same exact pen that you used back in 2011, so 7 years ago. And look at how fast she just went under. That's pretty amazing. I wasn't even expecting you to do that right then when you did it. I thought we were going to sort of build up to it, and you just went like, shit, and you whipped it out, and then she just totally fell back into her chair.
Well, you actually mentioned to Aino trigger, so you set her up a little bit. But had you not said trigger, she still would have gone just as fast.
Absolutely.
Because the thing about trigger is if you set them properly, they last. When they're set up properly by a good hypnotist, they last.
Agreed.
For years and years and years.
Yeah.
And
I've heard
this is how
the
you set up a Manchurian candidate.
Right.
You know what a Manchurian candidate is?
I think so, but you can explain to the audience in case somebody doesn't know.
I was going to ask you to explain it to me because I'm not sure I know what it is.
Well, I would imagine
there was no pun there when I said I know.
With somebody that you've been conditioning over a long period of time. But that, the longest I've heard that somebody has been able to test out a trigger has been 20 years. And I would love to know if anybody out there has tested it and it's been longer than 20 years. I would like to know how long it's been, because that's one of the questions that I do get a lot is how long does a hypnotic suggestion last once you set it? Mm-hmm. So
yes, that's the thing I would like to explain to those who are not hypnotists, who don't understand, because all the hypnotists who are listening will know that although you and I are talking, will also know that Aino is listening, and although she's in trance and very comfortable,
she can hear every word we say.
She's hearing everything that we're saying, and she's receptive, she's comfortable, and if I ask Aino to confirm that you know what we're saying, just give us a little nod of your head.
There she goes.
Thank you. There you go. So she's fully aware of what we're saying, and she's taking it all in, and we can talk about her, and she won't mind, because we're not saying anything bad about her.
No, and she's perfectly comfortable, perfectly safe. I think we have a good connection now, but I know if you stop hearing our voices for longer than 2 minutes, you will instantly and automatically wake up out of hypnosis and connect back with us.
Yes, and as we talk to Aino, I wonder whether maybe I don't know whether it be perhaps her left or her right arm, that being the only one left, might feel lighter than the other. One of them might feel lighter, the other might start to rise about now. I don't know which that might be. One of them starts to just rise up automatically all on its own as we carry on talking. And I'll let you take care of that, Aino, while we carry on talking. And where were we? Oh, talking about Manchurian candidates, weren't we? So this is where people like the CIA hypnotize people to do their dirty work for them. And, you can phone somebody out of the blue, they don't know they've been hypnotized, and give them a trigger word or phrase. And then they go out and do something dastardly.
Right. Without
being aware that they're doing it.
Yeah. There's a movie called The Manchurian Candidate.
Yes, there is.
And people think that that's not possible, that can't happen. They just think that it's all made up. It's just, for cinematic value. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you believe that this is possible to have Manchurian candidates?
It's absolutely possible. And And several hypnotists have done it on TV, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
Very recently, including
Um,
Darren Brown.
Darren Brown, I think
and
Tom Silver,
and Tom,
maybe. Yeah.
Tom Silver. I've interviewed him on my show, and it's easy to do. I can do it myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Right. It does take some conditioning, but it's not hard. Like you said, it is easy to do.
Yes.
I've done some of that sort of work too, but not to the extent that maybe like Darren Brown or Tom Silver has done.
Yes. but I use it for good purposes. For
Absolutely.
The benefit of my client.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And and we see what's going on with Aino here.
There goes her arm. It's lifting. And you can see that for people who aren't hypnotists, and you can kind of see that the little jerkiness motions. That's how you know that she's not consciously lifting her arm. Her subconscious is lifting it. And that's why it's a little bit jerky, and it's not really, it's not this like smooth movement. It's just going up just a little bit at a time.
And if you also notice that there's some unconscious agreement coming from Aino, because if you watch the little finger and her left forefinger, we got some twitching from that, which I think is her unconscious mind confirming
that's right.
what Stephanie was saying.
And I'm seeing the ideomotor responses there in her index finger.
Yes, that's called an ideomotor response, and that's fine. You can just let that hand hang there for a while. I know, well done, fabulous.
And if you
now,
go ahead. I just wanted to show that. I just showed the audience again her ideomotor response. Say something where she would need to give an affirmative answer to.
An affirmative answer. With your unconscious mind, Aino, I'd like you to select one of those fingers on the left hand to be your yes finger. That's I think was your little finger.
Was it? It looked like the pinky finger to me, but several fingers are moving at the same time.
Yeah. Would you like to just move that finger again for us, Aino, just to confirm which finger it was? I think that was the little finger.
The little finger, yeah, the pinky finger.
That's the yes finger. Okay. And you've little finger. So what Aino has done with her unconscious mind, she's selected that little finger just so that if we wanted to ask a question of the unconscious mind, she would indicate with that little finger.
And I have a question for her unconscious mind right now. I know, is your arm comfortable? Is your arm comfortable? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I guess we need to set up a no response too.
Right. Very good, Aino. We could ask for one of your fingers, or perhaps we should. When we do this, we're putting constraints on Aino by asking for a finger, because there may be some other method Aino might like to use to indicate for no. So it might be a finger, it might be a twitch of the wrist, or something else Aino might like to use.
Or even a head nod, or right.
Yes. So Aino, as we ask, is there something you might like to use to indicate a no?
Okay, so the head nod.
I think there was a head nod for a no.
For a no. Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay.
Or what's it called?
So that's a nod.
A head shake, because I guess a nod would be up and down, so a head shake.
I know.
Okay, good.
Okay, so that was confirmed with the
confirmed.
Do you call that pinky in America?
We call it the pinky finger. Yeah.
Okay.
You call it the little finger?
Yes. Okay.
We call it either or.
I'm getting a little smile from Aino as well there, so she seems to be enjoying this. Okay.
Also, her arm is very comfortable. She's confirm, you know, she's confirmed that her arm is comfortable. But when you're in the trance state, we can move limbs in all kinds of directions, and it can just hang in the air, and you can move the leg up and it'll just stay there. This just sort of a phenomenon that happens in the, you know, somnambulistic state. And it's very comfortable to the client or the subject. So, you know, don't think that, like, it looks, you know, to just an average viewer, onlooker, you know, that might look like it's not comfortable, but it actually really is comfortable, isn't it?
It's in a balance. It is, and I know it's just confirmed. It's in a balanced state because, although I don't know a great deal about physiology, every muscle comes in a pair of muscles, and because you have to move a limb, you have one muscle that moves it to where you want it, and you have another muscle that pulls it back to another position. And when you move your arm somewhere, each muscle balances it to keep it where you put it. And when you're hypnotized, they're in equilibrium. So it's no effort to leave it where you put it. Yeah. When you're not hypnotized, you get muscle strain because of all the artificial stress and tension that we have in our minds that cause the tension in the muscle. I think that's probably accurate, isn't it, to say that?
I would imagine, and really we could, I wouldn't want to leave her like this for an hour, but we could, and she would still feel just as comfortable as she does now at the end of the hour, which is pretty amazing, I think. You're doing fantastic, I know.
I wonder, I know just agreed with you that she's doing fantastic with a little pinky finger.
Good.
I wonder, now that Aino is listening to us and we've established this communication with her fingers and the nod of the head, I wonder if there's anything that Aino would like to say to us using that system. That was a yes.
It looks like a yes.
What Aino would like to say to us.
It certainly looked like a yes. Or no, it's a no.
No, there's a no.
There's the no.
Okay, so she's just contented.
And it looks, to me, I feel like she's gone even deeper. Look at how relaxed her jaw is right now.
Yes.
And even the ideomotor responses are becoming harder to, you know, pick up those nuances. We really have to look for those at this point. As she goes deeper, look at her breathing it's become slower.
And you've got good colour on her cheeks. It's becoming quite red, which is a sign that Aino's very relaxed.
Absolutely, and if we were there, you could feel her skin, and the temperature of her skin would have changed as well, and that's another sign.
I was thinking more in terms of feeling the size of a wallet. I'm joking.
I didn't quite get that, but okay. With British humor.
British humor. I'm talking about theft, but that wouldn't be very nice.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no. We're ethical hypnotists.
I was actually doing a test because Aino is so deeply relaxed that she didn't, because I know that Aino's got a very good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And she's so deeply relaxed, she didn't pick up on that humor at all, I don't think.
Yeah, and look, look at her chest rising and falling. I mean, she is deep. She is I believe she's in a profound state right now. She might even be in the Esdale state, for sure.
Yes.
Definitely the coma state. And, you know, and I know, you know, you can just take this opportunity to really feel wonderful and wonderfully relaxed, and just let every muscle, nerve, and fiber and cell in your body relax 100 times more. Feeling absolutely wonderful as you continue to become even more relaxed, renewed, rejuvenated, and revitalized. With each passing moment, every breath you take, and every word you hear, Keithanthony or I say, relaxes you even more and brings you even deeper and further into hypnotic peace.
And I'm thinking perhaps we have allowed that arm to remain up there for long enough now.
I think I was just thinking the same thing. Even though she's very comfortable, I always worry about blood flow issues, so we probably should have that relax back down. Do you want to give her the command?
Yes. And I know when you're ready, I'd like you to just allow, remembering what we did with your arm earlier on, I'd like to have you bring that arm down only as quickly as you want to your lap, nice and gently and safely.
Good job.
Releasing any issues that you have, and just allowing yourself to feel truly, truly wonderful as it slowly comes back down to your lap.
Just letting go of any and all issues from the day, from the past week. Just let those go.
And as they go, replacing those issues with wonderful feelings, so that any happy moments you've had in the past, any successes you've had in the past, all of the feelings that you have had from those flood in to replace anything that's been taken out that was negative, is replaced by wonderful, good feelings. Fabulous memories from the past come in to replace anything that's taken out that you didn't need, is replaced by good feelings, wonderful feelings, fabulous feelings. So you feel incredible, wonderful, fulfilled in every way.
And you have instant access to your internal confidence. Your internal confidence states you have instant access to it. Whenever you need it, you will have instant access to it.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. You're doing fantastic.
You're doing wonderfully.
And if there's...
It's okay.
Go ahead.
And it's okay to swallow and moisten your mouth from time to time.
Yeah. And if there's anything that Aino needs that we don't know about, and that's okay. The subconscious knows what she needs. I'm going to ask for the subconscious to go ahead and fill in those gaps now and give her those resources and bring those to the forefront. Whatever Aino needs right now, whatever's going on that she needs help with or support in, I'm going to ask the subconscious to bring forward those resources and set those into motion. And just give me a little nod of the head once you've done that for Aino. Good. And see how fast that was? Thank you. And I send you much gratitude and love for helping Aino today. But see how fast the subconscious does that. Like, you can really instruct
That's incredible.
Right.
Yes, that's good.
And I wonder too if the subconscious could scan Aino's body. If you could do a physical scan of her body, and let's just go in and check to make sure she's healthy on the physical level. Could you do that for us? Okay, good. Go ahead and do that body scan for us, for Aino now. And take your time. I really want you to look inside her body. Look at every cell. If you need to turn on the lights so you can see, just make sure she's healthy. And if you come to a place where there's a block, whether there's an energy block or some kind of illness or sickness, that whether she knows about it or not, I want you to just locate that area in her body. And let me know when you've done that. Taking as much time as you need to search. And if she doesn't have anything that needs to be addressed, then you can just shake your head for me. But if you find something, give me a little nod. Okay, good. So she's healthy? Okay, thank you. Perfect. So I always like to do these body scans too, because sometimes the unconscious knows that there's something going on in the body that the conscious mind is not even aware of. And when the subconscious finds it, the subconscious can go ahead and take care of it right then and there. It can, heal, or it can repair or restore whatever the damage or whatever the illness is, which is pretty amazing. And it can do it so quickly. So once it identifies it, it'll tell you that it's identified it, and then you'll just give it the directions, or I don't like to say commands, but you'll give them the directions to go ahead and heal or repair or restore that area, taking as much time as you need. And usually it's done within like 30 seconds. And it's pretty amazing, because some of the stuff is, you would think that it would take a lot longer. She's sort of in the coma state right now, using the ideomotor responses. But if we had her in the profound somnambulism, talking with the subconscious through her voice box, then the subconscious would tell you exactly what was wrong, if there was something, if it felt something wrong. So for instance, I've had clients where the subconscious has found a lump in the breast, and I asked if it could clear it out. Well, first of all, I asked if it was necessary for her to have the lump in her breast. Was it serving a purpose? It wasn't serving a purpose. So then I asked if the subconscious could remove it. It said yes, it could do that. Well, at first it said I don't know, and I said, okay, could you please try? And then I asked it to tell me what it was doing, and it said it was breaking up the lumps into little pieces, and it was destroying the lump using the white healing light of God. It did all of this within 2 minutes, which I think is pretty darn amazing myself. But I always like to do that. I always like to we'll start with a physical scan, then we'll do an emotional scan, a mental scan, and then I'll follow it up with a spiritual scan, so that all bodies, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, have been restored by the unconscious, and then integrate it. Then I'll integrate the bodies back into each other so that the person is whole again. That's how I like to do mine.
Yeah. Teacher, I must step away from the camera for a moment.
Okay. All right. And I know you're completely safe. Keithanthony is going to step away, but I'm going to be watching over you while he does so. Completely relaxed. Go ahead. And you still feel comfortable, don't you? All right, good. That's right. And if there's any kind of problem that the subconscious needs to work out, then it has permission to do so now. And Aino can be aware of that when she wakes up, if and when the subconscious comes up with the solution. The subconscious will inform the conscious mind of what the solution is. And I don't know, and I don't need to know whatever the problem may be. I mean, we all have problems, and I don't know if there's even a problem to work on. But if there is, then take this opportunity now to work on it. to help Aino. And then you'll be able to relay that to Aino's conscious mind at the most appropriate time for her. That's right. You're doing fantastic. And just let the silences between my words bring you even deeper into hypnotic bliss, hypnotic rest, and hypnotic peace. Feeling absolutely wonderful. That's right. Good. And we appreciate you coming today and doing this for us and helping us with this demonstration to show other people the power of hypnosis. We appreciate Aino, and we appreciate Aino's subconscious for showing up and working with us today. That's right. So we just send lots of gratitude and lots of love to Aino's subconscious. That's right. Deeper and further. Feeling the most rested you have ever felt in your life. And remember, Aino, that later on when Keithanthony wakes you up, you will feel like $1,000,000. It'll feel as if you've had a 4-hour nap and a 2-hour massage. You will be alert and awake. But you will be able to sleep very easily tonight when it's time for you to go to bed. Welcome back, Keithanthony.
Thank you.
So I'll let you do the honors of if you want to work with her some more, if you want to wake her up, it's totally up to you. But I'll step back now and let you take the reins.
Well, I don't know. You're doing so well with Aino.
Well, so are you.
I don't know what more I could do with Aino, or what more Aino might want me to do with her. I know you're looking so comfortable there and peaceful.
Yeah.
I don't feel I want to disturb you.
Okay, well, you're right. So we could either let her just, stay there for a while, enjoying this state longer, or we can wake her up and see how she feels and get some feedback from her. We have about 10 minutes left.
Have we? Right.
11 minutes.
Well, we could ask Aino. We could leave Aino in trance, but ask Aino for some feedback. Would you like to give it? I'd like to ask you, Aino, to stay in trance, but would you like to give us some feedback, Aino? How do you feel, Aino?
On the count of 3, I know you will be able to talk using your voice to give us feedback, but stay in hypnosis. 1, 2, 3. How do you feel?
I feel like such an amateur all of a sudden. That's right, I know.
Yeah. I almost heard her say something. She mumbled.
And if you want to, on the count of 3, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, on the count of 3, you could also open your eyes. 1, 2, 3.
There you go. Staying in hypnosis.
Oh, you stay in trance.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing right now.
Yay! We did our job. Good. That's wonderful. Yeah.
That's one thing that always has an indicator to me. when I come back out is, one is lacrimation. My eyes are really wet.
Are they? Yeah.
And the other thing is that I kind of am always able to judge my depth. And depending on how tingly I am around my mouth, it starts out with my mouth. And when my nose is numb, I know that I'm in.
Oh, right. Right, with the nose going numb.
Yes. So
did you have a conscious awareness? Were you conscious of what we were saying, or did your mind just sort of drift and dream?
No,
and float?
I'm always very consciously aware of what goes on. So the idea about the Manchurian candidate, I don't think it would work with me. It might look like that to the outside. But my inner protector is always very much in gear, if you want to say so.
Your inner protector, for sure.
Yeah. And one thing that I do a lot of times when I work with new people is that I always set that up with them. Because so many people have the idea about that if you get hypnotized, you have no power to do. You can't withstand. Like, for example, if Keithanthony did want to use a trigger on me, and I didn't give him license to trance at that moment, it wouldn't happen. He could wave that blue thing or say sleep or whatever till he turned blue.
Right.
And I wouldn't go there. And I know there's a lot of people who don't have that distinction, but I do. And have always seemed to have that. And,
I really like that, because I could see how that would be helpful in removing the fear and really giving the control over to the subject or the client. I really like that. I like the inner protector.
I tend to do that with anybody that I work with. And I just usually phrase it something like, if anything happens that does not seem to be okay with you, whether it's physical, mentally, or just something that doesn't seem right, not only can you, but you have a duty to come out of trance and tell the hypnotist something is wrong.
I love that.
And it's not going to be, doesn't mean that you can't continue working with it. It's just, if there's so many hypnotists out there, unfortunately, that are not trained enough to watch and see the little signs.
Yeah.
And you wonder why so many people go into app reactions.
Right.
App reactions are not absolutely bad, but they need to be properly managed, and they need to be done in such a way that they're comfortable for the person for the hypnotee. And so they can give you so much information as a hypnotist if you watch. And I know that anytime I work with somebody, I do go into a trance, which makes me so much more aware of the little things.
More perceptive, and it may be even easier to calibrate in a way, because...
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, you really have a bigger scope when you allow your own subconscious to take over the session.
Because there's so many things that, we can only see and pay attention to so many things in an awakened state. But if we engage the subconscious mind, there's just so many more things that we notice, and so many more things that we can figure out, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even memories and experiences that we've had ourselves, that can be brought up by the subconscious mind to let us know, hey, here is another resource for you that you can use.
Absolutely. My sessions are always so much better when I go in first, or when I go in with them. So, for sure.
Yeah. It's a wonderful tool. It really is. It's a wonderful tool for us as a hypnotist to use, and it's a wonderful tool for the clients to be able to use hypnosis as that little extra edge.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that not more people know about this.
I agree. It's the world's best kept secret, right?
Yeah. No wonder the medical community doesn't want us to be able to use this as much, or doesn't use it as much, because it would take them out of the picture in many ways. Yes, I think you're right about that.
I noticed that when I go into the psychiatric hospitals, the psychiatrists are terrified of me.
Oh
Really
yeah, the
are.
psychiatrists totally are. So we brought Aino up, but we gave her the commands or the suggestions to stay in hypnosis. Do you want to go ahead and bring her out, put her back down, integrate her, and then bring her back up so she's properly up out of hypnosis, or how did you want to do that?
How do you think we should do it, Aino?
I'll leave the reins.
Or do you want to just stay kind of trancey, until, because it's still kind of early where you are, so you probably have stuff to do tonight.
It's 3 a.m. where I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's.
How are you feeling now, Aino? Are you still feeling trancy?
I feel trancy. My focus is very narrowed on what goes on at the screen. I think one of the great parts about using things like this is that you already have set people up, don't you, for success, because you have them set up for that, because you're so used to having the screen as a hypnotizer. I mean, we sit in front of the TV, we sit in front of the computer, and we are so, everything around us comes in, even the little screen. We get on the thing, and we just kind of tune out everything like people used to do with a book or something like that. Mm-hmm. Now it's the screen, and so I love using this medium for working with people, and that's where most of my work is done. I started out a long time ago, and for the fun of it, I coined the phrase being a Skypnotist, right? And that's pretty much, I learned all my training pretty much has been from media of some kind, whether it's online, live online, or DVDs and such. And so people are always saying, well, how can you do this? How is it possible to do this? And what if this? And I noticed that you guys did let me know that I could, would wake up and so on and so on. And it's a good thing to do that in case we lose connection. But I feel extremely comfortable working at this medium.
Good.
Because this is where I learned.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it gives you such a much bigger area to work with people. I mean, I have people in
and people can find you where they would have never before.
Australia, everywhere else, and it's just a great tool.
So let's bring you out, shall we, Aino? So if you'd like to just close your eyes down now. That's very good. And just take a deep breath, relax, exhale. That's very good. And allow yourself to go deep down inside, back to that place where you were before. That's very good.
That's right.
That's very good. That's right. And as you enjoy that wonderful place, that place of safety where you were, you can integrate all those wonderful feelings. Allow yourself to collect all your thoughts together in that wonderful place, that resource place. And I want you to think of all those wonderful memories that you have in your mind. And I want you to collect them all together now so you can build a resource for yourself. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful resource for yourself. Build a strength for yourself.
That's right.
Build a force field around yourself. A healing a healing force field around yourself that will take you forward from this place, feeling strength, feeling courage, feeling joy, so that in the future you can go forward feeling, I'm making a picture of this because I'm so tired.
Yeah, integrate, harmonize, and balance mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, bringing all of your attention and your awareness back to the room and back to the sound of our voices. Beginning to wake up. In a moment, Keithanthony and I are going to, together, we're going to count up from 1 to 5. When we get to the number 5, you will open your eyes and you'll wake up feeling absolutely wonderful and energized. But when it's time for you to go to sleep tonight, you will easily and effortlessly fall back asleep as soon as your head touches the pillow, if that's something you want to do. All right, now bring the energy from the room up into your body, beginning to wake up on, ready? 1.
1.
That's right. Waking up more and more. 2. Bringing that energy all the way up through your body.
And you can begin to stretch and stir, begin to breathe, rejuvenating air into your lungs, filling your lungs, oxygenating your body, preparing to come back to full awakening awareness.
3, waking up every cell and nerve and fiber in your body, from the tip of your head to the tips of your toes, waking all your muscles, nerves, fibers, and cells. Keep becoming more and more alert, more and more awake. Are we on?
More and more aware.
Were we on 4? 4. Becoming more alert, more awake, feeling absolutely wonderful. And on this next number, opening your eyes, feeling as if they've been just bathed in fresh spring mountain water, feeling rest alert, awake, and happy. And 5. 5. Wake up now. Stretch and yawn. Get all that blood flowing through your body, feeling absolutely wonderful.
I don't think I've ever had a count out like that before.
Okay, good. Okay, so how do you feel? Do you feel much more alert and much more awake now?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. Yeah, just wiping those tears away. Good, because you got the lacrimy. And that's, I don't know if we explained that to the audience, but the red marker makes Aino laugh. When he flashes the red, that's the trigger to make Aino laugh.
Yes.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, definitely. It's funny.
So how did that feel when we were both counting you up at the same time?
It was funny because like one side of my head was listening to one side and the one side was listening to the other side. Like I really didn't want to miss any of it.
That was probably more like a confusional induction
than
an emergence.
It was a little overloading in some ways, like that.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. Like, oh, maybe just one of us should have done that, but oh well. Yeah. It worked.
Well, at least you're counting that way, not the other way.
Yeah.
Because I've had people who do it the other way, and I'm so
to wake you up?
To going from 0 is down deep sleep and 5 or 10 and now in the case that you brought me up a little bit slow because if you had in any which way asked me to speak at that point, there was no way I would have been able to say anything. Mm-hmm. Which Idiomotor was really good in that respect. But I'm glad that you did suggest being able to do that because I've told other people that before when, I cannot, even though I understand everything, I have an answer for you, whatever. But if you give that suggestion that it's easy enough to speak, then it makes all the difference. I think a lot of hypnotists need to think about that one.
Absolutely.
And you wonder why people are not.
I get all my clients to talk because I used the ideomotor responses, and that was great. But once I stumbled upon subconscious dialogue, I'm like, this is even better. Why am I using ideomotor responses? So
it's limited to two answers unless you
that's
set
right.
up a whole bunch of them, and then they can get mighty
And then it gets
confused. There's one thing about being a hypnotist and having learned the idea about the power of the subconscious mind. If we would just once in a while listen to our subconscious mind, what it's telling us. At one point, I was working with somebody for weight control, and one of the things that I think is a very common thing for us to tell them is, as you go shopping, you can kind of be aware of what it is that you buy. Instead of telling them you can't have this, which means of course they would want every bit of it. But you tell your subconscious mind to make wise choices. Make the choices that are good for you. And I'm standing here myself, having worked with this person about a week earlier, and I'm in the aisle and buying. What was I buying? Oh, I was buying a salad dressing. And I'm looking at it, and I'm just, me, I don't read it. I know I want this kind of dressing, and I go get it, and it's not a big deal. And I turned it around, and I looked at it, and I looked at itself, and I grabbed another one, and I looked at it, and I said, well, I've never tried this one. It has 50% less calories in it. I'll try this one. And I thought about it as I'm walking down, why in the world did I do that? And all of a sudden it clicked. I had actually listened to what I had been teaching these other people. So that's one thing that I am working with a friend of mine. It's supposed to be dealing with a little bit of me losing some weight. And I said, I don't absolutely want you to do a protocol that you do. My subconscious mind already knows mine.
That's right.
So really, really what I need you to do is just to go in, activate my subconscious mind, and make it put that protocol into use. And then you hold me accountable for it. And I think that would work just as well as it would be to try to reinvent the wheel in that case, when you have somebody who already has something like that. Using a specific protocol that seems to work is for different things. Doesn't absolutely mean that everybody comes across in a cookie cutter type. Yeah, but it means that if you already know it, and your subconscious mind as a hypnotist is on board with that.
I find when I'm in the supermarket, it's easy for me not to buy stuff, because I walk into the supermarket, and instead of saying to myself, I want this stuff, I say to myself, oh my God, what is all this stuff?
Yeah. Well, guys.
I say to myself, this stuff is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I leave it, I just don't want it.
Yeah.
It's just, I think I'm in a nut house when I walk into a supermarket. I don't see shiny, crinkly, lovely wrappers. I see a madhouse.
Yeah. I think I've seen that too.
and that's probably what, for one, it used to be that you walked into a grocery store, right? And you had 3 shampoos, and you had 3 different bags of chips. Now you have 35 different kinds of chips just in that type
I know.
Chip.
It's so
and
crazy.
A full-on shelf with all the different hair products.
And the brain doesn't want to have to make that kind of a decision. It really doesn't. It just wants it to be a more it doesn't want to expend that much energy just to make a decision on which chips to buy. Right.
The fun thing, a little sideline for your listeners here, is to go look up an article, and I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but it's called The Tyranny of Choice. And it addresses all that stuff. And it's a pretty interesting one. Tyranny of Choice.
And before I let you guys go, we've gone a little bit over time, but I want to give you each a chance just to direct my viewers to your website, or if you have anything you want to give them, or any resources you want to direct them to, that would be awesome. We could do that now. So let's start with Aino.
Well, at this point, my website is not up because I haven't had a chance to redo my website.
Okay.
I lost one website that I used to have,
Oh,
but
bummer.
otherwise, people can always find me on Facebook under Aino Welch, and I can go from there. Send me a message, whatever, if you have something you want me to help you work on. And other than that, that's about it as far as that goes.
Well, thank you so much.
Certainly willing to discuss things with people if they want to friend me and have other friendly discussions about hypnosis and or any of the other things that I do. I'm always open.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your story and for being the the subject, the guinea pig for us today.
I always love being a guinea pig.
Appreciate you doing that.
Hypnosis is a great place to be.
Yeah. And Keithanthony Taylor. So give us give my viewers some place to go where they can find more information out about you and what you provide.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you want to find me, you can find me on the web. I have a hypnosis group that you can join, which I think is a fabulous group, and that is Hypnosis NLP Stage Therapy.
And woo woo.
And woo woo. Well, if you go into the search box and type hypnosis and woo woo,
you'll
probably find it.
Yeah.
Because it's the only hypnosis group that includes a woo-woo category, and it's growing very fast, that group. If you want to find my Facebook page, then just type facebook.com/hypnosensei, and I've got a website which is hypnosensei.com or hypnosensei.co.uk, and you will find me. And if you want to find me on Skype, then just look for Keithanthony 0169, but do please specify in your contact request that you're interested in hypnosis. Otherwise, I will ignore you, because I get lots of people trying to contact me on Skype who want to have my baby and all kinds of silly stuff that I'm not interested in.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
So, there we have it.
All right, thank you so
much.
Again,
it's facebook.com/hypnosensei, or my Facebook group, which is Hypnosis NLP Stage Therapy, no spaces. Or as I said, just type a search for hypnosis and woo woo, and you'll find that group.
Got it.
It's a great group to join.
Cool. Thank you both so much for coming on, for being my guest today. And as always, you can find me at stephanieconkle.com. You can find me at clearliferesults.com. You can go to my YouTube channel or just type Stephanie Conkle into Google. On my Facebook, you can join my Profound Somnambulism and Beyond Facebook group, only if you're a hypnotherapist, though. Otherwise, you can just go to my regular Facebook page, which is Stephanie Conkle, befriend me. Again, indicate that you're interested in hypnosis or that you're a hypnotist, and I'll friend you, because I also get I don't get do you want to have my baby, but I get some other things. Yes,
I know exactly where you're going.
Some other creepy messages, so so don't come across as a creep, and I will befriend you there. And go ahead.
Could I just add, if you do join my group, where we've been running 5-day challenges in my group at the moment to help you make money.
Oh, that's right, with Denise.
That's a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah, come and join these challenges with Denise Mortimer, and she's also going to be coaching me soon. So I'm looking forward to that and sharing my experience with you, and let you know how all of that goes. And thank you so much. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Keithanthony, you go to sleep, and I know you have a wonderful, pleasant night, and I'll see you both around.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.